6 o'clock. All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Rachel?
Here.
Katie?
Here.
Sarah?
Here.
Jeff Gorno? James? Carrie?
Here.
Jeff Weaver.
Here. All right, if everyone will stand in just a second, we're going to be joined by Mrs. Massey's peer-to-peer group from North Ohio, and they will be leading us in our Pledge of Allegiance. And then after that, if everyone will stand for a moment of silence for armed services personnel. So, Mrs. Massey, you have the room.
Hi, I am Amy Massey. I am a teacher over at North Ohio Elementary, and I have for you tonight our peer-to-peer program. This program helps support students with autism spectrum disorder, often referred to as ASD, to become active, engaged members of our school. All of these students support and learn from each other, fostering friendships and collaboration. We love how they're making positive impacts on our school community.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Good to see you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. Nice to see you.
Awesome.
Hi, how's it going?
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you
Nice
for
to
coming.
see you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks
Thank
Good to see you.
Thank you for coming. Hi. Thank you.
guys.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, guys.
Thank you for
Hi.
coming.
How are you?
Thank you.
I don't know if I can reach all of you.
How's it going?
Hi,
Hi, how are
Good
you?
job, you
Good to
guys.
see you.
Hey, Mason. Can I move the door? There's a note. Without hitting the ceiling? Good job.
That works.
Doing great.
I want to be able to face the kids so I can see them. Okay.
I pledge
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Massey.
Thank you, Miss Massey.
Peer-to-peer group.
Thank you, guys.
Picture. If your parents want to grab a picture really quick, they can line up here.
Oh, yeah. We can move it. We can actually move it right over there.
Thank you all. All right, we'll go ahead and proceed on. Are there any items to be added or changed to the agenda?
There's that.
Correspondence and commendations. We have an email from Mart Shropshire to the Gaylord Community Schools informing the board of a great job JV cheer coach Katie Brokowski is doing. Recognitions and acknowledgement. Personnel, we have new hires. GIS teacher Brianna Young, maintenance secretary Tracy Fox, educational assistant Stephanie Luber and Jessica Schoening, food service helper Bernice DeJesus, and freshman basketball coach Alex Dietz. Do we have any of our new hires today? with us?
We do.
You have the floor.
Is Alex boys or girls? Boys?
I don't know.
Carla Vondren from Gaylord Intermediate School. We're very excited to welcome Brianna Young to our team. She was an instructional assistant, and she has been a teacher. She has 12 years teaching experience, teaching in California and Idaho, and she brings a wealth of knowledge to our team. She has an extensive background in ESL and also in reading. She's been an amazing asset to our staff, and we're so excited to have her join our 4th grade team.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Welcome.
Is that all of the new hires that we have here today? Okay. Resignations. Gaylord High School Special Education Teacher Jennifer Cheek, Educational Assistant Ashley Williams and Abrielle Thorne, and Gaylord High School Wrestling Assistant Coach Matt Nowak. Gaylord Middle School Students Council Officers Veterans Day Presentation. So our middle school, Joe, you have the floor.
Why don't you guys introduce yourself? I'd like to introduce myself first.
I'm Elijah Straight, student council representative for Ms. Falkland's seminar class.
I'm Cecilia Merrick. I'm our school's treasurer. I'm Layla Gunderson, our student council's parliamentarian.
I'm Briley Harris, and I'm a student rep for Mrs. Fitzgerald's seminar.
I'm Kennedy Smith, student council vice president.
So these were the face this morning of the Veterans Day Assembly. They greeted the, veterans coming in and all of our guests, and then served coffee and cinnamon rolls, and then a couple of them had a part, 3 of them had a part in the program. Kennedy got to say everybody's name, so that was always a little bit difficult. I think we honored just a little over 150 veterans today. And so we thought we'd condense this down to about 55 seconds. This is just a small part of what the kids did today. I thought Talon was coming. So super proud day for the middle school. And Colin was here last year. I don't know if you remember, but he was, and so he's our student council secretary again. And I thought he was coming, but why don't you guys shake hands?
Nice job. Yeah, he did really well. Nice job today.
Great job.
Nice job.
Thank you for coming.
Great
Nice
job.
Thank you for coming.
Good job. Great job.
Thank you.
All that great job today. Good job.
You got him right through there. I like it. Good job.
Kennedy, you get out of dishes tonight.
You guys did an awesome job today. Thank you. All right, now we'll move on to some more good news. Gaylord High School 2024 State Champion Softball Team. The floor is yours.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for supporting us this year. It's been fun over the last couple of years. Hope we can have your support again this year, as I think we're gonna make another run at winning another one. So we appreciate you guys. A lot of girls can't be here because they're in college, so, and some of the other girls just have other things going on, but we appreciate all the support.
Gaylord Middle School weight room donors.
We just met over at the Gaylord Middle School weight room to show and display where all the support came from and what their support led to. And it's a nice tour and got a picture and a thank you. But any of the donors that came and supporters, would you please stand up just so we can recognize you and thank you for all your help for putting together the middle school weight room. So.
Thank you to all of our donors that helped. Thank you. All right, building updates. Gaylord High School, Mr. Byram, you have the floor.
How's it going tonight? So I've just got a few updates in regards to high school. First one is Q1 just finished up. And anytime we look at that, we get our grade report, and then we start to identify students that need support. So our mentor program has started up. That's where we assign teachers from around the district to support some of our students to help them kind of reset, get their grades up, hopefully get them back on track for graduation. And our tutoring has started to pick up as well, so a number of our students are getting support outside of the classroom, extended beyond just your average teacher meeting with a student before or after school. This is typically a focus session of 4 to 5 students, roughly, 30 to 40 minutes of extended instruction in wherever we've identified some weak points or gaps. So that's going on. In the arts, we just finished up our big performance. It's the Cases of Mistaken Identity. Feedback from the audience is this is one of the best shows that they've seen in a really long time, and Mrs. Holtelling's been doing this for roughly 16 years, so that's a huge testament. Big thing was it was one of those plays that has a ton of parts, so there's a lot of moving parts, and then they also had the challenge of creating a train setting on a stage. So they're able to overcome all that, and roughly 650 attendees. So it was well attended for the 4 shows. Our CTE teams, like our career tech education, they're starting up their advisory meetings. Those are really, really important because it's a connection with our community. And so in those advisory committees, a number of our groups will meet, and they basically are saying what the needs of that particular industry is, and then we're able to kind of focus in and provide those types of supports, in our auto shop, MEDOC, and those types of things. And so, for example, next week we're gonna have, in 2 weeks, we're gonna have our NATEF auto audit, and they'll go through, and that's to make sure that our programs are meeting the level of our auto 1 or 2 students. After they complete a program, they can walk right out of our school with NATEF certification and jump right into the industry. So those are kind of the big ticket items that are going on in the school academically. Fall sports are just finishing up, so winter sports are starting today. Girls basketball starts next week, and we just earlier this week we found out that later last week we found out that 6 of our students in band have made the Michigan State Honors Band. So a lot of good things happening in high school. So.
Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Mr. Somerville?
He went over his time limit. So my theme is just kids being involved. We had our first dance here a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. We had over 200 kids there, like dance, activity night. A lot of fun watching those kids, just be crazy in the gym and the cafeteria with the dance. And then we just had our first peer-to-peer meeting last week. So 7th and 8th grade combined, we had over 50 kids that want to be involved in that and help some students out. And then, along with Dave, our weight room is super robust after school. Jenny Boykey's running that right now, and there's a lot of kids down there 4 days a week.
Good deal. Thank you. Ms. Thunderen, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. We had our ribbon cutting ceremony on Friday for the sensory room. We had a lot of local agencies donate And then all of the kids, the troopers, delivered pizza to every single classroom. We'd like to thank the State Trooper Outreach Partnership, the Gaylord Chapter, the Otsego County United Way, the Javetsky Agency, Amar Fox Family Fund, Rotary Club, and the Youth Fund, and of course the Otsego County Community Foundation. It's just been a tremendous asset to our students, and we're seeing the benefits of it, and it's just a great space. A big thank you to Sarah Sharansky and Kate Martell, who helped organize and spearhead that. They did a fantastic job, so we're really excited about that space and so thankful. We also are really, really excited about our 5th grade big field trips. So they went to the Boardman Nature Trail and did outdoor learning with their students. They had a great time. It was the first time we did this field trip, and lots of science and a lot of carryover into the classroom. And then they're bringing back the Mackinac Island trip in May, so we're excited about that. So families will start getting information so that we can start fundraising that trip. It's been on pause since COVID, so it's very exciting. Stacy Wright's also heading our canned food drive with the Kiwanis Club, and we're very, very thankful for their support. And it's so good for students to do that service learning and know the importance of the partnership between the two. And then lastly, face-to-face conferences were back, and we had an amazing turnout at GIS. We're still finishing up, but we've gotten a great feedback from families. They're happy to be back, having them face-to-face, and we have a good percentage of attendance as well.
Thank you.
I like these updates.
The best part about this is I can't ever say somebody took my answer because there's just so many great things happening. So at North Ohio, we have our RTC data. We collect that, and each month we look. Our referral rates for major incidents has decreased 39% from last year at this time. We are also noticing disruptive behaviors are down both in September and October from previous years. So positive things there. Our book fair had a huge boost. We got, a month or two ago, we got notified by COP that their Great Start Collaborative was able to provide about $3,000, so it equates to about $30 a student, for our kindergarten students to purchase books through our Scholastic Book Fair. And the first of those kindergarten classes went through today, and they were so excited. In fact, so excited that Mrs. Weber's class thought that it would be fitting and appropriate to create a thank you for those donors and that Great Start Collaborative. So just a lot of great things happening both in our behavior and in literacy with books for kids.
Thank you.
Great, she stole my answer, so I'm just kidding. Hi, everybody. At South Maple, we've got a lot of good things going on. First, I just want to thank some of our community partners who have generously donated funds to help put books into our book vending machines. Students get books, they're caught by our eye care cat, so they get to go down if they've exhibited one of our school-wide rules over time. So they get to get a book from the vending machine through that. And then, so thank you, the Nick Mazur Foundation, for donating funds, and also Lisa Jarsky. She donated funds to our book vending machine, and students go down to get a birthday book. So every student gets a book on their birthday from the vending machine. So thank you, community partners. Also, we have some great data from our behavior intervention systems. Our major referrals from this time last year are down 84%. Part of that is a contribution to a program that we're partnering with the high school. We have some students who don't respond to typical intervention strategies, so we had to think outside the box, and the high school was very generous with offering some supports from high school students through a mentoring program for some of our higher needs behavior kids. So those students are responding very well to their high school buddies. They come regularly on a schedule every day for a certain set of time, and they work on some skills together, and a lot of it's just having like a good peer model that's a little bit older that can help work you through some hard situations. So that's another good thing. Also, like North Ohio, we have some literacy data to share. We have had our intervention schedule up and running since the end of September. And we categorize students either as they're in the red, they're at risk, they're yellow, they have some risk, or they're green, they're good. And with our interventions, we have been able to move 76 students out of the red. So that's great information and great news for South Maple, and a contribution to all the hard work of our teachers and our support staff. They're really working very hard, and it shows. So that's what's happening at South Maple.
Thank you.
And lastly, we have a non-renewal of Schedule B contract. Now we'll have public input. All right, looks like I have a few new names in here. So just brief what's going on tonight is we'll have this public input right now, and we have the one at the end. So you're welcome to speak now or speak at the end. But you'll have 3 minutes to address the board. We won't dialogue back with you. If there's an answer to be had, somebody from the board or the school will get back with you at that time. But that's our public input. So first one up is Keaton Abraham.
All right, my name is Keaton Abraham, and I'm here to talk about Coach DJ and his renewal or his non-renewal contract. Here we have a couple players and coaches in support of Coach DJ, and not all can make it due to other sports and activities, but there are plenty more that are in support. I've played for Coach DJ for 5 years in a row now, and I've learned many things about him. He's just one of those guys that he's willing to put a lot out for you before he takes something for himself. So like an example of that is my dream is to go play college football, especially, and my big dream is at Montana State. It might be out of the reach, but he's spending so much time of his personal time, reaching out for me and trying to help me achieve my dreams. And he does that for so many other players. It's unreal. Last year we had, I think it was 7 players go play college football. Half of them would have had no idea what it was for if it wasn't for Coach DJ. And the other thing is like throughout the summers we go to all these college camps, and he's willing to take days off and drive us down there so we can pursue our dreams and, move forward on that and he loves developing young guys, young men into, good adults and great players, and I think it's just important for all of you to see the positives that he brings to us, there's a bunch of kids that I've played with the last couple of years that if there wasn't for football, I don't know where they'd be. Like, that's just how it happens. I got a couple of buddies that are in that spot. Like, we just, he brings us together as a team. We have study hall to help with grades. It's a really great atmosphere, and he loves giving back to the community. We do a ton of community service, and he thinks that the community gives so much to us, and so he wants to give back. Lastly, I just hope you guys think about the renewal of his contract, because I think it's important that other kids get the same experiences that I've gotten these past 5 years, because they're truly something special with all the time he takes for. And he's on a real personal level, and I love him to death, so thank you.
Thank you. Next up will be Mary Black.
I'll wait till the end.
Okay. Moose Letourneau.
Hello, I'm here to speak about the renewal of Coach DJ. I am the current head coach for the 8th grade football team and have been the head coach for the past 8 years. I have a unique perspective of being the only middle school coach to have been around for the past 3 varsity head coaches. And I can tell you, of the 3 coaches, only Coach DJ has made an amazing effort to help foster and develop these young men. In the first 5 years of my coaching career, our numbers of athletes for the 7th and 8th grade either stayed around the same or decreased. After Coach DJ's first year as a varsity coach, our numbers have only increased, including this year of over 90 kids that have come out for 7th and 8th grade football. Coach DJ has made it a point to include the middle school more than any of the previous coaches. He has come to practices to talk to the kids. Head coaches come down to help mentor our middle school coaches, and he has run the middle school camp for the last 4 years. Coach DJ has brought my teams pizza and ice cream after games and practices. He has sent encouraging messages to my players after tough losses and exciting wins. He's been a leader in the energy around the classroom, making sure my players understand that the students before athletes. He has attended games home and away, something neither of the previous head coaches ever did. Why is that important? Why does his presence around the middle school program matter? Football, in my opinion, is the greatest team sport ever played. A sport that proved that you can never succeed on your own. And coaching that sport the past 8 years has been proven to me time and time again, the majority of the kids on the team need football more than football needs them. When Coach DJ makes it a point to be around these young men and encourage them to stick with football, it makes the kids that need football continue to perform in the classroom, to continue to give back to the community, and continue to learn life lessons that will take them to great places later in life. On the field, Coach DJ has made incredible strides. He's won the conference championship for the first time in 18 years, a district championship for the first time in 21 years, 2 playoff appearances out of 4 years, and more importantly, he has helped the varsity team perform in the classroom. They are 2-time academic All-State, and they're on their way to the 3rd straight this year, something that has never been accomplished in the team's 97-year history. He has the boys out in the community, volunteering and learning firsthand how important and selfless giving back to others is. And ultimately, isn't that what we want for these young men? To become adults we are proud of, to learn life lessons to help them become the very best versions of themselves. Coach DJ is not done with leading this program. His ideals and influence has impacted numerous lives for the better, mine included. Walking away from a leader that gives everything he has to bring out the very best of these players and coaches seems ludicrous to me. As school board members, you are the voice of this community. Not one voice above the others, but a voice that represents all of us. Please take this into account and think of how important this decision is. Not just for the man that loves to coach, but for all these young men in this program that need someone like Coach DJ to help them. Thank you.
Thank you. Finn Miller.
Hi, I'm a junior at Gaylord High School, and I'm here to talk about the renewal of Coach DJ's contract. In my freshman school year during the winter, I tore my ACL skiing. After a few months recovering, I kind of thought football was out of the picture, and didn't think that I would be playing again. During the summer, I got a call from Coach DJ. He was talking to me, giving me a few words of encouragement, asking me how I was, asking me how my knee was doing, and kind of talked through some things, and I told him I wanted to show up for a few days of practice. And in those few days of practicing, they weren't even practices, they were summer workouts and OTAs. I realized I forgot how great that culture really is. It made me see how much I really did miss that football field. During the season, Coach DJ had us volunteering community service, whether it was food pantries or we were at the VFW. Not many coaches have I seen, or at all, have their players in and out of the community, doing stuff for their community and help them give back what they give to us. At the end of the day, football is football. Our record didn't really show as much as we wanted it for, but the amount of hours that Coach DJ spent after games, on weekends, taking time away from his family to make sure that we were prepared for the next week is something I'll always be grateful for, and I know us boys will be grateful for. Not only was he building us for the game of football, he was building us for the game of life, showing us character, encouragement, and grit. He's not just a coach to us, he's a great role model, like a father figure. This is what makes Coach DJ so special to all of us and to the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Ron Mogenberg.
I'm Ron Mogenberg. I'm varsity coach for softball, and I wanted to talk a little bit on, as a coach, on how everything transpired with DJ and my thoughts on that a little bit. Boys, well said. That's the first thing I'll say is well done. Takes a lot of courage for you guys to come up here and talk in front of the board and peers and your community. As a coach, I have a few concerns on how all of the telling DJ how his renewal wasn't going to happen through an email. I don't think it's professional. I think as a coach, I feel that we deserve the respect to have a face-to-face conference or a talk with either the board or somebody else on why we're not getting a renewal. We do a lot as coaches. People can say we get paid, but we don't get paid to coach. We do it because we enjoy it. And DJ is a prime example of that, on how much time he puts into our community, into our students, into cancer. He does cancer games, so he raises money for that, the military game, and everything football aside, everything DJ does off the field is everything that we should want in our school. And, I feel, if we felt that DJ wasn't able to continue on coaching from what may have happened earlier in the season, that should have been the time we let him go. If we felt that he wasn't good enough then, it should have been then, not 12 hours after the last game. So I would hope that you guys would reconsider renewing his contract, because we need DJ. DJ has always been there for the softball team. He's had his team come out and support us. Anytime we needed anything moved, he brought the muscle. He just asked the boys to, hey, go take care of it. If we ever needed his room, that room was available for everybody. DJ got that for all of us. So I would hope that you guys would definitely reconsider reinstating DJ as the coach, as these boys are here to show you what they want. So please let these boys' voices be heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Sheila Simpson.
I'll pass.
Okay. That is all of the public input we have for now.
I feel like we blew past the non-renewal Schedule D contract, and I just wanna say that, I understand that we as a board have no say really in this, and we don't get to vote on this, but I am not in support of it, and I would ask that it is reconsidered also. So, as we did on Thursday, but I would like to ask again for reconsideration.
All right, fiscal year 2024 audit report. Now we will hear from,
Can I release these guys?
pardon me?
Release these?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. If anyone would like to leave now, well, you're welcome to stay, but
Make us stay for Sheila.
Yeah.
Is that what her name is? Okay, I did write it down. I can't believe no one wants to stay for the financial report. This is my favorite part.
the floor is yours.
I am Brian Wall from Moylander Fitzhugh, and I'm here to present the results of the audit for the year ended June 30th, 2024. This first page in the presentation just goes over the layout of the financial statements and how those are ordered. First is the opinion letter. So we found that these statements were presented fairly. That's known as an unmodified opinion. So the opinion letter, it states the financial statements are the responsibility of management. Management is required to evaluate whether conditions or events raise substantial doubt about the school district's ability to continue as a going concern. Our responsibility as auditors is to determine whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement, whether due to error or fraud, and to issue an opinion on the financial statements, which, as I stated, was an unmodified opinion. And the audit was conducted in accordance with U.S. generally accepted auditing standards, governmental auditing standards, and uniform guidance. Net in position increased by $4,332,131, or 21%. Program revenues accounted for $16.4 million, or 36% of total revenues. General revenues accounted for $29 million, or 64% of total revenues. And the general fund reported a positive fund balance of $8.2 million. On to the statement of net position. Current and other assets, $17 million. Net OPEB asset of $1 million. And capital assets net of accumulated depreciation of $26 million led to a total assets of $44 million. Deferred outflow of resources were $20.3 million. Liabilities, current liabilities of $6 million. Long-term liabilities of $57.6 million. For total liabilities of $63.6 million. And then deferred inflows of resources related to pension and OPEB of $17.5 million. The net position is invested in capital assets, $26.1 million, restricted $1.1 million, and then unrestricted negative $44 million, for a total net position of negative $16.8 million. Again, that's because of the pension and OPEB liabilities and the government-wide statements. For the revenues and expenses, program revenue charges for services 1.2 million, grants and categoricals 15.3 million, and property taxes 14.4, state foundation allowance 14.1, and other 0.5 million for a total revenue of 45.5 million. For the expenses, instruction was 24 million, sports services were 11.5, food services 2.3, athletics 0.8, student activities 0.5, other 0.6, and depreciation was 1.5, for total expenses of 41.2, getting us to that change in that position of 4.3 million. Next page is the breakdown of capital assets. The year's additions of 2.088 million were largely due to completion of the HVAC and front entrance remodel at the high school. A lot of those moved from previously construction and process over to their final category for the fixed assets. So total capital assets for 2024 were 64,211,976 against an accumulated depreciation of 38 million for a total of 26 million in capital assets. This page is the fund balances for the various funds. The general fund decreased 955,000. That was primarily due to the decrease of COVID grant funds and then an increase in labor costs. The food service went down 102,983, and that's largely due to the spend down plan with the MDE. Student activity fund went up $40,351, and the capital projects funds went up $224,594. For the general fund, there's total assets of 14.2 million, total liabilities of 6 million, and then the total fund balance of 8.2 million. Total revenues for the year were 39.6 million, total expenditures 40.5 million, and the net other financing sources or uses of 36,000, for a net change in fund balance of that 956,000 decrease. The next slide is a breakdown of where those revenues came from. 61% came from the state, it's 23.8 million, 13.5 million or 34% came from local sources, 119,000 or 2% came from federal sources, and then 1.3 million or 3% came from inter-district sources. 2024 revenues were $191,000 higher than 2023, and actual revenues were $336,000 higher than budgeted. This was mainly due to recognizing a higher than anticipated amount of revenue from local and state sources. For the expenditures increased by $967,535. This is primarily due to increased costs associated with wages and benefits from previously settled labor agreements. Some of these costs are outside the district's control, such as mandatory retirement payments. Actual expenditures were over budget by $594,000. This was mainly due to the shift of COVID grant expenditures back to the general fund. The food service fund had a total revenue of $2,332,000, total expenditures of $2,375,000, and then other financing uses of $60,000 for that decreased fund balance of $103,000, leaving $526,000 as of June 30th. The student activities fund had total revenue of $502,000, total expenditures of $462,000, for an increase of $40,000, leaving $554,000 as the fund balance. For the capital projects fund, the green fund had no revenues or expenditures. It had other financing sources of $24,000. The increased fund balance $24,000, leaving $121,000 as a fund balance. The sinking fund had total revenue of $1,806,000, total expenditures of $1,605,000, for an increase of $201,000, leaving $1,536,000 as the fund balance. The next slide goes over GASB 68, which is related to the pensions. As of September 30th, September 2023, the district's proportionate share of the net pension liability is $57,528,242. The total plan's net position liability is approximately $32 billion. Next slide is related to GASB 75, which covers the post-employment benefits other than pensions. So these districts' proportionate share as of September 2023 was $1,001,478. The total plan's net OPEB asset is approximately $566 million. I believe this was the first year in a while that it flipped from a liability to actual an asset, meaning the state has enough funds projected to cover that. Upcoming accounting pronouncements. GASB Statement 101 related to compensated absences was issued June 26, 2022 and will be effective for the school district's 2025 fiscal year. GASB Statement 102, certain risk disclosures, was issued in December 2023 and will also be effective for the school district's 2025 fiscal year. And GASB Statement 103, financial reporting model improvements, was issued April 2024 and will be effective for the school district's 2026 financial fiscal year. Sinking fund compliance, so the school district is in compliance with section 1212 of the revised school code. For our single audit testing, our major program that we tested was the child nutrition cluster. Total expenditures were $2,601,413 for the federal awards. For our report on internal control over financial reporting and on compliance in accordance with government auditing standards, we had no findings. For the report on compliance and on internal control over each major program required by uniform guidance, we had no findings as well. In the letter to the board, as previously stated, the audit was performed in accordance with U.S. generally accepted auditing standards, governmental auditing standards in the uniform guidance. The audit was completed within the planned scope and timing. Management is responsible for the use of appropriate accounting policies and accounting estimates based on management's knowledge and experience. The most sensitive estimates were depreciation and the pension and OPEB related estimates. We had no difficulties encountered in performing the audit. Management corrected all known misstatements. We did have a pass schedule issued for leases that were ultimately insignificant for recording, and we had no disagreements with management. So Joe has the rep letter, and he will get that to me. We had no consultation with other independent accountants, no discussions outside of the normal course of professional relationship as a condition of our retention. We want to thank the board and Joe and Lisa and team for another great audit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Lisa?
Yeah, good job, you guys.
All right. We'll move on to Gaylord Community Schools employee termination.
Oops.
Yeah.
Here we go. It is recommended that the board approve the termination of KN Bolt. Oh, I'm sorry.
Far ahead.
Consent, yeah.
Do I jump?
Yeah, consent agenda.
Consent agenda.
Oh,
Did.
sorry about that.
Slow down. It's all good.
Can I go on? Consent agenda, board minutes. Get the right ones here. And treasurer's report. So that is the end of the consent agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I will second.
Any questions?
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes. All right, now back to where I was. Gaylord Community Schools employee termination, KN Bolden. It is recommended that the board approve. Did I screw up again?
Yeah.
What am I missing?
There's
We
the
did
audit
the,
is there.
oh, we
You
gotta.
gotta approve the audit.
The audit.
Oh, I was thinking that was, I thought that was just, we were reading through it.
I'll make a motion.
Hold on.
Hey, it's Monday, give me a break.
It's okay, hold on. Okay, I'm with you now.
I'll make a
Alright.
motion to approve the fiscal year 2024 audit as presented.
I'll second it.
Any questions?
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
You
All
can do
right.
that one now.
Now I'm in the right spot, right? All right. It is recommended the board approve the termination of KN Bolden as presented.
I'll make a motion that the board approve the termination of KN Bolden as presented. I'll second.
Any questions?
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes. Student expulsion. It is recommended the board approve the expulsion of student 2/2024 for the Gaylord Community Schools as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the student expulsion, second student for 2024. I'll second.
Any questions?
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes. Student expulsion Gaylord High School, number 3 of 2024. It is recommended that the board approve the expulsion of student 3, 2024 from Gaylord Community Schools as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the expulsion of student 3-2024 from Gaylord Community Schools as presented. I'll second.
Any questions?
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes. FOIA appeal. It is recommended that the board accept the FOIA appeal from the Mackinac Legal Center as presented.
I'll make a motion to accept the FOIA appeal from the Mackinac Legal Center as presented.
I'll second it.
Any questions on that? Okay.
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes. FOIA Appeal Board Committee is recommended the board create the appeal, create and approve a FOIA Appeal Committee as presented. Our thoughts are we have a policy committee where we're meeting with our attorneys on Wednesday. There's gonna be 3 of us there already. If everyone here is in agreement, we'll do that all then. It'll be Rachel, myself, and Carrie.
The rest of us will get a briefing on what's said, obviously.
Correct,
So,
yeah. This is the first one I've been through, so I
Okay, all right. It's not.
don't really
stuff
know what to
that's-
expect, but our legal team will lead us through whatever we have to do. Any questions? So our committee will be made up of our policy committee, and we will take care of that on this coming Wednesday. Okay? Any other questions?
So I just need a motion that I have the members Rachel, Carrie, and Jeff.
So I'll make a motion to approve the FOIA appeal board with Carrie, Rachel, and Jeff.
I'll second it.
Okay?
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jeff Weaver.
Yes. All right. You will be hearing from us shortly. All right, move on to our second public input. Mary Black, you have the floor.
I'd like to read something to you. I hope you have all seen it, but if not. This is from a teacher in Gaylord Community Schools. It was posted on Facebook, sent to me. I don't do Facebook, but somebody sent this to me. So here's the thing. Before I log out of social media altogether, if you voted MAGA, whether you are family or friend, please delete me as a friend. We are not friends. We are not family. You voted against the future of my children. You voted against the Department of Education and my career, my pension, my Social Security. You voted against the planet and our global security. You voted against health care for people I care about. F you and your feelings, F your religion, F your hate for LGBTQ women and people with brown skin. Signing out. I want to ask this board, how do you suppose the atmosphere was in that classroom last Wednesday? This is a person that has a mental illness, and she is motivated by hate, the one thing that she called other people out for. She basically gave the middle finger to 60% of this community. As a parent, how do you think it would feel if you come from a conservative home to sit down and do a parent-teacher conference with this woman? How is she looking at a child who comes from a conservative family and maybe voted against her? She should not spend one more minute in Gaylord Community Schools. If I had had a kid in that class and I had seen this, I'd have been at that school and my child would have been permanently out of this school system. This did not just happen because she lost an election. Thank you.
Thank you. And Sheila Simpson.
First, I want to congratulate the board on a very successful audit. The demands financially of the school system are enormous, and it was a really good audit. I couldn't even understand half of it, but it was really wonderful. I also just want to say, there has been so much heated difficulty throughout this election process. And as one who's received people giving me expletives because of the stands I've taken during the election, I know things are heated. People have been very emotional. And one of my friends had a mother tell her kids to roll down the window and yell expletives at the friend who was just holding a sign very peacefully. So do we censure parents for that kind of behavior, or do we just start over and please start modeling the behavior that we want to do? Everything was so heated. Let's take a breath. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. The person did apologize, did know that it was in a heated moment, very angry that her values felt threatened. And I just want to have us just be more reasonable.
Thank you. That is all of the public input. We need one more motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Rachel?
Yeah.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.